Hello and welcome back to Nothing But Net, brought to you by Always Balling for the player within. I'm Mike Miller, and this week we're going to talk about the mortality of LeBron James. Has the King finally met his match with the Boston Celtics? It certainly feels that this guy is on the ropes. A lot of people have been speaking about whether or not he's tired. He looks fatigued. There was comments about him being sat on the scorer's bench at the end, or scorer's table at the end, consuming a lot of water. Um, he looks like he's struggling now. He played all 82 games this season. He really wanted to do it. It's the first time in his career, but maybe that was the wrong goal. He's averaging 31 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 8.2 assists these playoffs. He's putting up incredible numbers, and yet it's not enough with this Cavs team. It's just not enough, and you can see from the breakdown, as soon as he has an off game, they don't win. Boston, on the other hand, 5 or 6 guys in double-digit scorers. This is a team, and so it begs the question as to whether having systems which put the individual over the team, you know, are they actually as good as a system which puts the team over the individual? Obviously, you need the great individuals involved to be a success anyway, but it just feels like the minute that LeBron sits, this Cavs team's identity goes. LeBron's tiredness, he is human after all. A lot of his shots now we're starting to see coming short front of the rim. His passing is getting sloppy. Yesterday, the Celtics had a total of 8 turnovers. That's pretty good. LeBron on his own had 6 for the Cavs. We're also seeing just sort of, I don't know if he's tuned out or what, we're just seeing different reactions from him that don't sort of bark the authority that LeBron has been able to stamp over the game, and certainly the Eastern Conference for the last 7 years. It's 7 years is just an incredible run if this is the end of it. He leads the playoffs in minutes played. He leads the playoffs in points per game. There's only one person who averaged more minutes per game. That was Paul George in round 1. And in fact, LeBron is the only active guy in the playoff in the top 10 for minutes played per game. So that says the sort of load he's under at the minute. He's got a really high usage rate. The only guy higher is Harden, who has a historically super high usage rate. So is this it for LeBron? It's a really difficult one. I think that Brad Stevens has done a fantastic job with the way that Boston are defending him. If you watched last night's game, there was a really interesting sort of comparison to draw in that the amount of times LeBron drove for a layup and was just held, he was wrapped. They were putting physical pressure on him, and they did it so regularly because every time they do that, it's extra energy. It just saps from him. I thought it was an incredibly good tactic. Whereas if you look the other way, there was the Kevin Love pass behind him, which was going to be a backcourt violation, and Jason Tatum, full of rookie legs, ran all the way up, took the ball, kept it in play, went for an uncontested layup against none other than LeBron. And we know that LeBron has been guilty of taking plays off before. There's been a great article out this week about his movement essentially on the court. He was quite upset by the findings or the analysis that suggested he was slow. He's not slow at all. He just can't perform. Well, I'd say can't. He just chooses his spots. This is how cerebral he is. It works 90% of the time. He knows when he needs to go. He doesn't need to be moving at 100 miles an hour all the time. And to be frank, he can't take it. We're seeing now that the heavy load he carries is beginning to slow him down. He's an incredible player. There's absolutely, he's up in the GOAT conversation if you ask me. And it would be, I don't know. Is it a real shame if he doesn't make the finals this year? I don't think it necessarily is. Yeah, certainly it's the end of an era, but this Boston team is just, it's just brilliant, and it's the epitome of team because amongst them, their best player is a rookie, but they share the ball. Their two biggest names are in street clothes on the bench. It's just phenomenal what they've put together. So we've got Game 6 coming up. That'll be Friday night. Friday night? Yeah, that'll be tonight. Could all end then? I don't think it will. I picked the Cavs to win this series, and there's one reason for that, and he's looking a bit tired at the minute. But until you rip his heart from his chest and leave him on the hardwood, I can't rule him out. So I think it's going to go to Game 7. This is where you can all at me if I'm wrong tomorrow night. And if it goes to Game 7, I think we're going to see a totally different ball game. I think there's still a chance. It's not over yet. Boston, the pressure's not on them for this one game, but I think they're going to come at it the way they've approached every other game so far. They've not been great on the road. We know that. So that's even less pressure for them. They don't need to win this game, and they haven't really done that well on the road at all this playoffs. Let me get your thoughts on it. Is LeBron mortal now? Is this his downfall? Is this the end of this all-consuming beast who's been dominating the Eastern Conference for so long? Make sure you at me at Mike Miller _time at Nothing But Net BB on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure you check out alwaysballin.com for their championship mentality range, and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at alwaysballinuk. I'll be back next week where the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference will be done, and we'll be playing for the big trophy. See you next time.